A very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu editorial analysis for proficiency in English. As usual, let us start with the snippets. What is the first one? A loan nominee. There is an expression here, loan nominee. We also have Chandrasekhar slated to be, an important expression, Kerala BJP chief. So what do you understand from loan nominee? Only person to file the nomination. Then we use the expression loan nominee. And Chandrasekhar slated to be Kerala chief, BJP chief. To be slated, slated to be Kerala BJP chief. This is in passive voice. In this context, you all know the word slate. But in this context, slated means a position to be the BJP, Kerala BJP chief. Otherwise, nothing to learn as such. Let us go to the next snippet. Here you can see devastating picture, rubbles and all. Toll crosses 50,000. Toll has many meanings. Death toll means what? The number of people died. Imagine a lot of people died. What is the number? For that we use death toll. Here, and it has other meanings as well, crosses 50,000. Israel orders evacuation of southern Gaza. There's one important word, evacuation. Generally, the word evacuation goes with a natural disaster. Debris, demolition, pull down, all these you have to recollect. What is the meaning of, here we have a word, evacuation. Shift people from a place to another place. Whenever there is a natural disaster, a catastrophe or a mishap, people are evacuated to rehabilitation centers. That you should recollect. Coming to the next one, mandate against Trump. PM Carney calls snap election in Canada. There are two or three words you have to focus on. One is mandate. I'm sure all of you know the word mandatory. Mandatory means what? Compulsory. Mandate, electoral mandate means a verdict given by the electorate. Mandate against Trump. PM Carney calls snap election in Canada. Snap election. Snap has two or three meanings. One meaning quick election. In this context, snap also means to break. Imagine the branch of a tree breaks, then we say it's snapped. Another meaning. Snap also means it goes with photographs. World TB Day and equitable health coverage, integration of TB services within public health system is key. There is one important word, integration. Very simple, what does a snippet say? An equitable health coverage, World TB Day. It seems a World TB Day, based on that, everyone should be covered. Yes, mandate, directive, decree, but they have other meanings. Integration of TB services within public health system is key. Integrating, inclusive growth, integration, not leaving anyone, not considering downtrodden people. All these things, integrated approach, holistic approach, exhaustive, comprehensive, you should recollect. But when you see the word integration, we have to think of the word form integrity. Imagine someone has values and ethics, we say, he is a man of integrity. Means what? He is honest, he is above board. That you should recollect. You can also think of man of principles. All these you should recollect. Coming to the last snippet related to sports, Sunday special. Super Kings Sunrisers off to winning starts. Off to winning starts. What does it mean? Many of you must have watched yesterday's matches. And if you take Sunrisers won, and if you take Super Kings, Chennai Super Kings also won. And they started well. Based on that, off to winning starts. Now let us go to the headline, main headline of today's paper. What does it say? Again, I'm sure many of you, those who watch TV channels, the news in the limelight, they found cash at High Court judge's place, and you can see the pics of burned cash notes. Chief Justice of India seeks details of guards at judge's home. The judge has denied, obviously, and to what extent it is true, we don't know. But based on this incident, what is the background information? Delhi High Court judge at his place, bundles of notes were found, and subsequent to that, they found burnt notes near that person's house. CJI seeks details of guards at judge's home. To understand this, you should read the entire article. Which lecture? This one you mean? Should I attend the session you mean? Please be clear. I will respond then. Coming to the snippets on the left, here we have heroin seized from Manipur radical group. Heroin seized from Manipur, a radical group. Radical group means a revolutionary, opposing establishment. And they found heroin, it seems. Seize means to capture using force. No, if you want to revise, it is better you revise. I would rather recommend, because the exam is fast approaching, you better revise, but after the session, download the PDF and go through the important words. That will help. That's what I would like to say. Coming to the next snippet, Muslim bodies boycott Bihar CM's iftar event. Bihar CM must have hosted iftar event, and all the best, Manisha, study well. And they boycotted that particular event. It is about that. Meghalaya seeks TB survivors help to battle disease. There is one important expression. What is it? Survivors help. Here we have a noun in the plural form, survivors. It ends in the letter S, and you should recollect an important rule. What is that rule? If a particular noun, plural noun, ends in the letter S, we should use the apostrophe after the letter S. That you should recollect. Here, coming to the pick, usual appealing pick, Kashmir's bounty. There are two words, bounty, and not exactly related, but you should also recollect words like boon or bane. Boon means a gift, opposite bane, a curse. Nature's bounty, there's a typical combination. What is that? Nature's bounty means gift of the nature. Here, based on that, Kashmir's bounty, sheep's buffet, and an important expression. All my students know why it is important. Tell me, why is it important? Sheep apostrophe, yes. But why is it important? When you see the word sheep, as a smart learner, you have to recollect nouns that have the same form for singular and plural. Sheep, deer, bison, one group. Salmon, trout, cod, one group. Offspring, aircraft, spacecraft, one group. They don't take, there's nothing like sheeps. Singular or plural, we use sheep. But here the possessive case, sheep's buffet, a flock of sheep. This is a compound noun, a collective noun, flock. A flock of sheep in an almond orchard in Pulwama as Kashmir basks in spring sunshine on Sunday. See, one line of one sentence, so many words are there to learn and recollect or consolidate grammar knowledge. First one, based on grammar, sheep is an important word. Flock of sheep, collective noun. Again, you should recollect the rules that go with collective nouns. Usually they take a singular verb, a singular pronoun. But if the sentence denotes division, the same collective noun takes a plural verb, a plural pronoun. And coming to the word orchard, how many of you know the meaning of the word orchard? Orchard is a piece of land where only fruit plants are grown. Imagine a piece of land on that only fruit trees are grown, that is known as orchard, an important word. And another word is here basks in spring sunshine. Basking, usually summertime or winter, imagine peak winter, it's cold. But after 10, you see sunshine. People go and go outdoors and get exposed to sunshine. If you expose yourself for a long time to sunshine, that is known as basking. Have you heard of this any time? And basks in spring sunshine. Another important word, spring. Why is it important? When it comes to two seasons, summer and winter, Britishers attributed masculine gender. And two seasons, spring and autumn, they attributed the feminine gender. In many exams they've given, the spring season has its own beauty. Wrong. Because it is considered feminine, the spring season has her own beauty. See, so many things to recollect. One, buffet means usually it goes with dinner. You can have whatever you want, no one serves you. Self service, it is like that. One, two, three, four, five. Only one sentence. So much is there to learn and consolidate. That is the best part. Let us go to the next one. Turkish court formalizes the arrest of Erdogan, a rival over corruption charges. I'm sure you all know the word rival. Formalizes arrest of Erdogan, rival over corruption charges. Someone's enemy, competitor, we use words like rival, competitor, enemy, and you should also recollect two words, friends and foes. FOES, what does it mean? Enemies. Coming to the next headline, I think this is the last one. President of Sambal Mosque's managing committee arrested over violence in 2024. Here we have a collective noun committee. President of Sambal Mosque's managing committee arrested over violence in 2024. Other words are easy, but the moment you see committee, you should recollect all the important examples. Collective nouns, committee, jury, staff, team, group, family, all these you should recollect. But competitive exams, many a time they've given collective nouns, committee, jury, staff, team. Those four at any cost you can't afford to forget. That's all from the front page of today's editorial. Let us go to editorial analysis. And if you ask the question, what is there to learn? You can improve your comprehension skill. You can improve your contextual awareness. You can learn effective vocabulary. You can consolidate your grammar knowledge. Besides, you're going to work on mini mocks. Let us start with the first word, editorial vocabulary or effective vocabulary. What is the very first word here? Reinforce. Reinforce means to strengthen. Part of speech, a regular verb meaning strengthened or supported, especially with additional material or argument. Something reinforces something else means what strengthens something. Look at the example. The leader's speech reinforced the need for electoral reforms. The leader's speech strengthened the need for electoral reforms. That's how you have to look at. 45 also you can recollect. Who is that? Nani Raju. Very good. Reinforcement is a noun form. Reinforcing, present participle. Word combinations, reinforced idea, argument, structure, belief. Synonyms, strengthened, supported, bolstered, upheld, fortified. See, it is here. Those two words you should remember. And antonyms, weakened, undermined, diminished. Subtle differences. Yes, Vishnu, very good. Fortified. And what is the difference between undermined and diminished? Undermine means to weaken. Diminish means to go down in number or quality or standards. Declining, diminishing numbers. Usage is very important. We can't take things for granted. That is a problem with English. Coherence, an important word, and this goes with writing. When you write an essay, coherence is very important. It has to be coherent. What does it mean? Part of speech noun. The quality of being logical, consistent, and forming a unified whole. When I take descriptive English classes, when I talk about essay writing, I tell students the most important factor. What is writing? Writing is coherence. Coherence means what? Smooth and logical flow of sentences. Smooth and logical flow. How do you make it flow smoothly, the sentences? By using the link words, and logical by being systematic. Two important words you have to keep in mind. Example, the essay lacked coherence, making it difficult to follow the main argument. If there is no coherence, imagine the ideas and the sentences, they don't flow smoothly and logically, they go in a zigzag manner. The reader cannot understand. Word forms, coherent and important word form. Coherence also important word form. Coherently adverb, and incoherence opposite, incoherent opposite. Word combinations, logical coherence, lack of coherence, usually we use this. Coherence in writing, we use this also. Maintain coherence. When you write an essay, you should maintain coherence. Synonyms, consistency, clarity, rationality, logical flow, keywords. Antonyms, incoherence, inconsistency, confusion. You all know the word predict. Predict means to tell about the future. You also know the word predicate. School level they teach this. If you take a sentence is divided, has two major parts. And here I'm sorry. What are the two major parts? One is subject, the other one predicate. Subject, predicate. That is one meaning. She teaches French. She subject, teaches French, predicate. But here a different meaning altogether. Part of speech, it can be a verb, it can be a noun. And meaning to base or establish something on a particular idea or principle. Meaning as a noun, the part of a sentence that tells something about the subject. This goes with grammar knowledge. Part of the sentence that tells about the subject, we use the term predicate. Many of you may know. But look at the first one as a verb. To base or establish something on a particular idea or principle. Look at the example as a verb. The theory is predicated on the assumption that all humans are rational. Means what? The theory is based on the assumption that all the humans are rational. But that is not true. That is a different question altogether. Example, as a noun. In the sentence, she runs past is a predicate. She is a subject, runs past is a predicate. Word forms are predicated, predicating, and word combinations predicate on facts, base on facts, predicate an argument, predicate assumptions. Synonyms base, establish, found, assume. Antonyms ignore, overlook, disregard. Not exactly opposite. Inexplicable. Explicable means something that can be explained. Inexplicable, difficult to explain, obviously. Part of speech, adjective, meaning impossible to explain or understand. The government's inexplicable delay in conducting the census has raised concerns. Has raised what? Concerns. Here, rise, rose, risen, raise, raised, raised. Raise is a regular verb, a transitive verb. What is the object here? Raised what? Concerns. Word forms inexplicably, explicable, explanation, but generally we don't use this word. Inexplicable decision, inexplicable behavior, delay, decision, behavior, difficult to explain, then we use this. Loss also you can say. Synonyms, mysterious, unexplainable, puzzling, baffling. When you see words like baffle, you should recollect words like perplexed, baffled, bewildered, confused. They all mean the same. Puzzled. Antonyms clear, understandable, explicable, logical. Quite opposite. Only a few words today, and what is today's editorial about? Petty politics. I'm sure many of you know the word petty, that's why I haven't brought. Petty means what? It has two or three meanings. Petty issue means trivial, not important, silly. Petty cash, everyday transaction, you keep some cash in the office, that is known as a petty cash, another meaning. But petty, usually I give the meaning many students know. Silly, trivial, not important. Petty politics, on the delimitation issue, the census. This topic has been in the limelight, an important topic. Based on that, and recently opposition parties met, I think in Chennai, that is a stimulus. Based on that, this has been written. On the delimitation issue, the census. What is the main idea? Delaying the census aids politicization of delimitation issue. Delaying the census aids, here aids means what? Helps politicization of delimitation issue. If they delay census survey, that may result in some sort of politics, politicization of delimitation issue. How we will see, but what is the main idea over here? The impressive gathering in Chennai, as I said, many opposition parties, based on the initiative taken by Stalin, the incumbent CM of Tamil Nadu state, they met in Chennai based on that. The impressive gathering in Chennai on March 22nd, 2025, which brought together leaders from several states, including 4 chief ministers, not only chief ministers, but also opposition leaders, important leaders, for the inaugural meeting of the Joint Action Committee. They have formed a committee, Joint Action Committee, JAC, for the inaugural session. 4 chief ministers of 4 states, and several leaders attended that inaugural session. And this is about what? JAC, on fair delimitation. Fair has many meanings. One meaning, when you talk about complexion, fair complexion, dark complexion, and when we talk about fair, means proper, just, correct, fair treatment. And fair also has other meanings. Fair delimitation sent a clear message. The gathering sent a clear message. What is that message? Any delimitation exercise based solely on the current population figures is unacceptable. Present on the current population figures, if they go in for delimitation, these leaders, these CMs and these party heads say it is not at all acceptable, unacceptable. That is crystal clear. The meeting's primary demand, the objective of the meeting, the agenda of the meeting, the primary demand is what? The meeting's primary demand to extend the freeze on the number of parliamentary constituencies based on the 1971 census for another 25 years. What are they demanding? They are demanding freeze. Freeze means no change. Extend the freeze on the number of parliamentary constituencies based on the 1971 census. Already frozen, they want that to be extended for another 25 years based on 1971 census. Echoes a similar resolution passed at a recent meeting of parties in Tamil Nadu. Echoes here means reflects. But the opposition, all the parties in Tamil Nadu, within the state, all the parties, when they met, they wanted the freeze to be extended for 30 years. But here it has been brought down to 25 years, which proposed a 30-year extension. This concept of a freeze is not new. This concept of freeze, it seems not new. How does the writer substantiate? It was implemented through the 42nd Amendment until 2000 and extended again via the 84th Amendment until 2026. 2 amendments, one, the 42nd Amendment till 2000, beyond that, 84th Amendment till 2026. Rightly, the JAC emphasized that states which have successfully implemented family planning should not be penalized, passive voice, punished with reduced parliamentary representation. If they go on the basis of population, what is the negative impact? One may wonder, a layman may wonder. Imagine some states have gone in for family planning. Obviously, when a particular state actively promotes family planning, the number of people, the number comes down, population declines. And based on the population, if they go in for parliamentary constituencies, those states will definitely get affected. That is a primary objection. This concern, which is particularly prominent in the South, from this implied information, southern states have implemented family planning, so they have the concern. This concern, which is particularly prominent in the South, should not be dismissed as a regional issue. Again, passive voice. We should not dismiss it as a regional issue. This concern should not be dismissed as a regional issue, despite the strong southern presence at the meeting, because no one represented the North, almost 90% the South. Based on that, we cannot say it is a southern issue. That's what the writer wants to convey. Despite the strong southern presence at the meeting, which was hosted by Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin and attended by Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy, and Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar. The meeting also saw participation from outside the South. A few from outside the South participated. Who are those? Including Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann and Odisha's former Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik, who, in an online address, reinforced the message against the punishing states for effective population control measures. He has reinforced what is it? In a way, if they do it based on the present population, it is nothing short of punishing the states for implementing family planning programs. He has reinforced that online, in an online address. And he talks about who participated, what they said. It is after a long time that parties across regions and ideologies are uniting on a substantive issue. Usually parties across ideologies, across borders, they don't unite. Rare, once in a blue moon. After a long time, perhaps this has happened. Based on that, it is after a long time that parties across regions and ideologies are uniting on a substantive issue. I use the word substantial, same meaning, considerable, an important issue. Representative democracy, rather than forming opportunistic electoral coalitions that lack policy coherence. Here they have a good reason. Representative democracy they want to focus on. It is not about forming opportunistic electoral coalitions that lack policy coherence. They haven't joined hands for opportunistic coalitions. They are there for a genuine cause. And if you take these opportunistic electoral coalitions, they lack policy coherence, but it is not about that. The Bharat Rashtra Samiti's working president K.T. Ramarao proposed considering a state's fiscal contribution as a parameter. KTR, you all know, and he is a working president of BRS. He also attended the meeting. He came up with a proposal. What is this proposal? He said the parliamentary constituency should be divided based on the contribution of a particular state, financial contribution. Proposed considering a state's fiscal contribution, means what? Financial contribution, as a parameter, as a factor in the delimitation process, an idea that may help address the concerns of the southern states. Seems to be okay. It may address the concerns, it may provide a solution, and when it comes to the objections raised by the southern states. But there is something not feasible, but talks about contrasting information. But it might not make sense to predicate decisions with long-term consequences such as delimitation on factors that change from one year to another. What is the objection here based on the word but? But it might not make sense, though it seems to be a good idea, it might not make sense when it comes to predicate decisions. Predicate means base decisions with long-term consequences such as delimitation on factors. If you take certain factors, if they are permanent, then you predicate based on that acceptable, justified. But if you consider factors which keep changing, which are volatile, which are not stable, then you try to base your assumption or your theory on that, not going to work out. On factors that change from one year to another, what are we talking about? Fiscal contribution. This fiscal contribution keeps changing. Based on that, we cannot predicate something. In any case, the union government must act without delay to begin nationwide consultations involving a wide range of parties. Whatever it is, the editorial says, the union government must act without delay to begin nationwide consultations involving a wide range of parties. Before initiating the delimitation commission, it should facilitate inclusive dialogue. Inclusive dialogue means what? Taking all the stakeholders into consideration, regardless of when the next census, an essential prerequisite. Prerequisite, something you need beforehand. Pre means before, requisite means requirement. It has to consult before, regardless of when the next census, an essential prerequisite, is conducted. So far, statements from union ministers have failed to provide clarity. One more thing, do remember, whenever we come across the phrase so far, means what? Past to present. Then we should use present perfect tense. So far, statements from union ministers have failed to provide clarity. The center must recognize the importance of transparency and consultation on this inexplicable delay. The center must recognize the importance of transparency and consultation on this inexplicable delay. Inexplicable unless petty political calculations are factored in. If they consider, unless is an important word, what does it mean? It talks about a condition. Till they talk about time. Why is it inexplicable unless if they don't consider petty political calculations are factored in? Factored in means to consider. I think it ends on that particular note. Try to answer these questions based on comprehension skill. Exactly. What was the primary demand of the Joint Action Committee on Fair Delimitation? To increase the number of constituencies? No. To extend the freeze on parliamentary constituencies based on the 1971 census. They want it to be extended for 25 years. That is a demand. Good, you guys got it right. Which amendment extended the freeze on delimitation until 2026? A particular amendment extended from 2000 to 2026. Which amendment is that? It is the 84th amendment. 84th, exactly. Very good, Pravalika. First one to respond. According to the editorial, why should states that successfully implemented family planning not be penalized? Penalize means punish. 84th, yes, Vishnu. Because they contribute more to the economy, because it would lead to regional disparity in representation. Because they implemented family planning, the number must have gone down, and obviously it results in disparity. Disparity means difference in representation. That is important. What can be inferred about the writer's stance on the role of the fiscal contribution in delimitation? Fiscal contribution as a parameter suggested by the working president of the BRS party, KTR. So what does the writer think about that? What is his stance and what can be inferred? Fully supports no. The writer believes fiscal contribution is a valid but unstable criterion because it changes. Valid parameter but not reliable, not stable, unstable. A good question. Good point also. What is the tone of the editorial? Sarcastic? No. Optimistic and celebratory? No. Neutral and detached? No. Analytical and critical? Both. It criticizes the central government. It analyzes the overall scenario. Now we have questions based on mini mocks. There's a sentence here. Try to spot the error. An easy one should not be a problem. One reading you should be able to. Scientists have long warned, nothing wrong, that rising global temperatures, nothing wrong, both on land and sea, will result in more intense and frequent heat waves. Now, we have a problem here. Will resulted or will result? Will result. Here the sentence is in future tense. After the model, we should use the verb in the bare infinitive form. Here result, bare infinitive, do remember. Try to choose a word that can be filled the blank. Most responses to heat waves are limited to short-term emergency measures such as providing drinking water, extending work hours, adjusting work hours, eliminating work hours, restricting work hours. A bit difficult, this one. And boosting hospital capacity. Very good, Pravalika, first one. Adjusting, they adjust the work hours, timings are changed. They may go early and return early. Double pillars, few cities have even begun planning for expanded local weather monitoring, urban heat islands, or those responsible for implementing heat plans. Developing urban heat islands, mapping, or training those responsible for implementing heat plans. Improving, who has done it? Cities. Improving, supporting. Assessing, analyzing. No, it should be mapping and training. No. Lavanya has got it right. Mapping and training. Weather monitoring, mapping urban heat islands, or training those responsible for implementing heat plans. They have to be trained. Mapping and training. A challenging one, that's what I said. Phrase meaning, what is the meaning of the phrase new climate normals? What does it mean? A return to past weather conditions, unpredictable and chaotic weather changes, a shift in average climate patterns due to global warming. Answer should be C. Very good. Perfect. Pavani's third option. Got it right? We have the word underscores, in which sentence it has been used correctly. Scientist underscores grammatically wrong. The recent temperature rise underscores the urgency of climate adaptation. The study underscores the importance would have been better. The report underscores about. We cannot use about here. So what is the answer? No, A is not correct because 2 should not be used there. The recent temperature rise underscores the urgency of climate adaptation. Answer is C. Because grammatically other options are not correct. 2 is wrong, scientists underscores wrong, underscores about, we cannot use a preposition about. I guess that is the last one. Today's editorial is a short editorial. Usually it takes 50 minutes. I could finish in 38 minutes. And 2 reasons, short editorial, not too many words. That could be 2 reasons we could finish off within no time. Exactly. That's all for today. Thanks for being with me till the fag end of the session. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.